The students, about distributed systems, in the last class we discussed about the distributed file systems. No, we discussed about distributed file systems. In distributed file systems we discussed about the distributed systems architecture and processes. Okay, and processes. And now we are going to discuss about the distributed file systems communication. Distributed systems communication. Okay, so this communication process, it is particularly special or unusual about communication distributed file systems. Okay, many of them are based on remote processor calls. So that remote processor calls are using in this, and although some interesting enhancements have been made to support special cases. The main reason for choosing this RPC mechanism is to make the system independent from underlying operating systems and networks and transport protocols. Okay. See, why we are using this RPC, remote processor calls in NFS. Okay. Network file system, we are using remote processor calls. For example, consider network file systems are communication between a client and server proceeds along the open network communicating system. Open networking communicating, that is ONC. Open networking communication process, that is ONC, remote processor call protocol, which is formally defined in earlier defined 1995, along with a standard for representing Marshall data. Okay, so he defined in Srinivasan 1995 with the data Marshall data. So open network processor call in RPC is similar to other RPC systems. Open networking processor call in RPC is similar like to other RPC systems. Even networking file system operation can be implemented as a single remote processor to a file server. That is, up to until NFSV4, the client was made responsible for making the server's life as easy as possible by keeping requests relatively simple. Okay, so for example, consider in order to read data from a file for the first time, a client normally first had to look up the file handle using the lookup operation, after which it could issue a read request. Okay, consider this diagram here, client and server in AB reading data from a file in networking file system and reading data using a compound processor in version 4. Okay, so diagram A is reflecting that client A, client B, the client to server, it is looking to server and looking to the respond getting from server to the client. Okay, so after looking name and again it is sending the request from client to server that okay, read it. This is the first one. In other words, we can say that it is the respond. After receiving the respond, it is going to send the content. Okay, so read the file. Looking up, yes, we are looking, and read the file, yes, we are reading. Okay, so for this B diagram, here you can see the client to server, look up, open, read. The same three instructions are performed at a time, is it not? Here for every request receiving the response, here the same way initializing and sending is taking in a one place. Okay, so when it is initializes and opens and reads the file. Okay, this type of approach required two successive RPs. Okay, so you have to have two RPCs technism. The drawback became apparent when considering the use of NFS in a wide area system. For a simple manner, it is able to do that, but for complex situations, it is giving a difficult. It may be drawback. So in that case, the extra latency of a second RPC led to perform degradation. So the second RPC, if you want to use, so that is for to go down in that technology. To circumvent such problems, NSSP4 support compound procedures by which the RPC can be grouped into a single request. Okay, and we can consider the one more diagram, that is that RPC2 subsystem, remote processor called to subsystem. From client to server, you can see there client is client is communicating through RPC via client side effect. Okay, so at the same time client is communicating through the RPC, and at the same time client side effect is also communicating to server, is it not? So one part is communicating to server and one part is client application is communicating with the RPC, so that it is getting the information from the server as well as the RPC. Okay, this is RPC to subsystem. So RPC again is communicating to RPC server and is responding to the RPC is responding to the client. Okay, RPC is communicating through RPC and is communicating with the communicating through the client, right? File oriented communication in plane. File oriented communication in plane. It is worth mentioning a completely different approach to handling communication in distributed file systems. So here all resources are accessed in that same way. Okay, that are the file like syntax and operations, including even resources such as processes and network interfaces. So this idea is inherited from Unix. From taken This idea is taken from Unix, which also attempts to offer file like interfaces to resources, but it has been exploited much further and more consistently. Okay, see that file the instruction and the purpose of the instruction file description. Control is using to write protocol that is specific control commands, protocol specific commands, and data is used to read and write data. The instruction that is used to read and write the data, and listen is to accept incoming connection. Listen is using to accept the incoming connection setup request. Local is provides information on the caller side of the connection. Local is at the information on the caller side of the connection. That is caller. It is local side. Okay. Remote provides information on the other side of the connection. Remote. So remotely that receiver's end, it is information on the other side of the connection. Status provides the diagnostic information on the current status of this connection. Current state of this connection is explained with the status. Okay, the next topic is naming. So naming arguably plays an important role in distributed file systems. Naming is an important role in distributed file system. In virtually all cases, names are organized in a hierarchical namespace, and we will consider that NFS as a representative for how naming is often handled in distributed file systems. Okay, and naming in network file systems. The fundamental idea underlying the naming file system model is to provide clients complete transparent access to a remote file system as maintained by server. This transparency is achieved by letting a client be able to mount a remote file system into its own local file system. As you can see in the diagram, see client server, client B, client A, server, client B. So server is communicating through the clients A and B, so that it is sharing the directory path. Okay, it is sharing the directory path. That is the client A, remote, bin, and VU. So that is a subdirectory. Okay, VU subdirectory is communicating through the network and to the server, so that it is communicating through the steam. That is a subdirectory. Okay, so like this. And instead of mounting an entire file system, networking file system allows clients to mount only part of a file. Mounting is nothing but to communicating. To communicating. A server is set to export a directory when it makes that directory and its entries available to clients. Okay, an exported directory can be mounted into a client's local name space. Directory is exporting to from client to server. Okay, and this design approach has a serious implication. In principle, users do not share namespaces. The file named remote or VU or whatever the directory, client A is named and to client B. A file's name therefore depends on how clients organize their own local namespace. The naming of the subdirectory is different from client to client, person to person, and where exported directories are mounted. The drawback of this approach in a distributed file system is that sharing files becomes much harder. File sharing the files of subdirectory is harder. For example, Alice cannot tell Bob about a file using the name she assigned to that file. For that name may have a completely different meaning in Bob's names. Yes, that is the different names may be used for different clients. Okay, so there are several ways to solve this problem, but the most common one is to provide each client with a namespace that is partially standardized. Partially standard, that is, for example, each client may be using the local directory. Each client may be using the local directory, that is, some name bin to mount a file system containing a standard collection of programs that are available to everyone. Likewise, the directory, that is local directory, may be used as a standard to mount a local file system that is located on the client's host. So the client's host everywhere, that is the standardized local directory is there, so that it is easy to communicate the clients with the subdirectories. So here also we can see that to explain this point in more detail, assume that server A hosts a file system, FSA file system, for which it exports the directory packages. Here we can see the diagram. Here this client A, server B. Client A is transferring the directory, subdirectory, okay, to the server A to server B. Okay, so what happens? This is communicating through the major that is subdirectory to server A and the local directory to server B, so that it is communicating and we can overcome from the repeated problems for the difficulties. Okay. So here we are discussing about file handles. So how the file is handling in the a file handle is a reference to a file within a file system. This is just now we have seen in the directory. It is independent of the name of the file it refers to. Okay. So that file is independent to compared to other files. A file handle is created by the server that is hosting the file system and is unique with respect to all file systems exported by the server. So it is created when the file is created. The file is kept ignorant of the actual content of a file handle. It is completely opaque. Okay. File handles were 32 bits in NFS version 2, but were variable up to 64 bits in version 3 and 128 bits in version 4. Okay, so the length of a file handle is not an epic. The length of the file is not a epic. Okay, auto mounting. Mounting and auto mounting. The mount command mounts a storage device or file system, making it accessible and attaching it to an existing directory structure. The umount command unmounts a mounted file system, informing the system to complete any pending read or write operations and safely detaching it. The problem with this approach is that the auto mounter will have to be involved in all file operations to guarantee transparency. If a referenced file is not locally available because the corresponding file system has not yet been mounted, the auto mounter will have to know. So, in particular, it will need to handle all read and write requests even for file systems that have already been mounted. This approach may incur a large performance is a problem. Okay, here you can see the symbolic links with the auto mounting, how it is mounting, automatically it is mounting. See, here it is going to temporary directory, that is home to allies. Here by auto mounting home allies, and it is directly with the subdirectory, it is going to with by using symbolic link, it is going to the receiver end. Okay, that is, and constructing a global namespace. Global namespace is large distributed systems are commonly constructed by gluing together various legacy systems into one whole. So when it comes to offering shared access to files, having a global namespace is about the minimal glue that one would like to have. So the present file systems are mostly open for sharing by using primitive means such as access through FTP. Okay, file transfer protocol is using for this. More sophisticated approaches are followed by truly wide area distributed file systems. But these often require modifications to operating system kernel in order to be adapted. Therefore, researchers have been looking for approaches to integrate file existing file systems into a single global namespace but using only user level solutions. So one such system simply called global namespace service, that is proposed by Anderson, in 2004. Here we can see the text and the description. Okay, the instruction and the description. So GNS, global namespace for junction, is refers to another GNS instance, is refers to another GNS instance. Logical file system name, GNS logical file system name is referring to subtree to be looked up in a location service. He is looking for subtree. Logical file system name is refers to subtree to be looked, and logical file name, system name, here file name refers to file to be looked up in a location service file. Okay, and physical file system name refers to directly remote accessible subtree. Physical file name is refers to directly remote accessible file. Physical file system name, physical file name. File system name is a reference to directly remote accessible, and file name is referred to directly remote accessible file. Okay. Synchronization. Okay. So the next topic is synchronization. Synchronization is simplification and is the coordination of events to operate a system in unison. For example, the conductor of an orchestra keeps the orchestra synchronized or in it in time, is it not? That is simplified the things. Systems that operate with all parts in synchronicity are said to be synchronous or in sync, and those that are not are asynchronous. Okay, to synchronize, for the asynchronous, synchronize is using. Okay, four ways of dealing with the shared files in a distributed system, that are Unix semantics. Unix semantics is used for every operation on a file is instantly visible to all processes. Unix semantics. Session semantics is using for no changes are visible to that session until the file is closed to that particular session. Immutable files. Immutable files is referring to no updates are possible, simplifies sharing and replication. Transactions are referred to all changes occur automatically. When transactions are using as instruction, so it will change the things automatically. Okay, so these are the topics that today we discussed about communication, naming, and synchronization of distributed file systems. Go through this, and if you find anything to know more about, you can communicate so that we can discuss. Okay, thank you.